So, good day, everyone. Today, we're going to be looking at a very special subject on our series on MSME Clinic. Okay, so the idea behind MSME Clinic is to look at those topical issues and try to analyze them, provide solutions so that you, the entrepreneurs, will be able to take it off from that level and be able to run your enterprise well. Our passion at G Bothing, managers of G Learning Center, is to see that your business is doing so well. Okay? A lot of people assume that they know how to do business. Okay? Why a lot of people have started quite a number of business and those businesses have gone under. These are daily realities. These are things that happen from time to time. Okay? So based on the visits we have in the MSME counseling session, we decide to say let us return back to basics to understand in details what the word entrepreneur means, what MSMEs are. We try to categorize them. We talk about commerce. Today, the world is talking about e-commerce. We'll trace the origin on how it starts, how you can capitalize on this to be able to drive business to the next level. So, who is an entrepreneur? Or what is entrepreneurship? Okay? An entrepreneur is a person who takes the risk of investing his time. So I pause there to look at that beginning. A person, okay, or an organization who decide to take the risk. Okay? There is no way that you want to business today without taking the necessary risk. And I tell you, the number one risk is the risk of sleeping and not waking up. So I put the question to you. If you assume today that you will sleep this night and you are not going to wake up, then are you not going to sleep tonight? Okay, so sleep is an inevitable thing that you must do. So for those of us who are born entrepreneurs or trained entrepreneurs, you must be confronted with daily risk. So a person or an enterprise who takes the risk of investing his money, okay, so take note of that word again, your money. There are quite a number of people who want to take other people's money to go and invest in that business. What happens in most of the time is that when you take somebody's money, you are not serious with it. Your money sometimes is synonymous to your blood. So if you take somebody else's blood, you may not know the importance. So what people do is that you must be ready to take risk with your own money. Your time is important. Okay? You as a startup, which we will try to categorize shortly, as a startup, it is imperative and it is critical that your time must be invested in the business. Okay? Some people will now argue that people like Dangote, they have a series of companies. They have large conglomerates. Doesn't mean that they have to put all their time, but as a startup, I'm telling you, when Dangote was starting, he had to put all his time and energy into that enterprise. So as a startup, okay, please do not will that business to another person. Be around 24/7, monitoring and checking the life beat and heartbeat of that business with the hope of finding out what those solutions are, what those problems are, and profiling those solutions. Your business gets to a point where it stabilizes, then you can now bring in people to come and work with you. So an entrepreneur is a person who takes the risk with his money, with his time, and there must be passion. You must be, passionate about what you are doing and be ready to follow through till the necessary profits are being made. So you must be ready to invest your money, your time, and passion in the development of business or series of businesses. So bottom line, you have to be a risk taker. Second, you must be able to invest your own money. And that's why most times you go to the bank. Bank will tell you that we don't finance startup. Okay? Then it is important. If you go through series of our clinic, you will get to find out reason how you can raise funds for your enterprise. Okay? Raising funds for your enterprise, there are several ways to that. So you can visit us at any time, scroll through our social media handles, check all our websites. You can pull a call across to us. If your business is passing through those problems and you need an intervention, we are available to help you to be able to do that. So we now try to look at that acronym, MSME. Okay? MSME means micro, small, medium enterprises, MSMEs. Okay? And some people try to go back to say there is a word called nano entrepreneurs. Okay? But I'm going to start from what I call startup. In trying to define who you are as an MSME, whether you are a startup, whether you are micro, whether you are small, or whether you are medium, or whether you are a large enterprise. Okay? So at every point in time, you pause and ask yourself now, where do I really belong? Okay? So trying to move from startup to large company is tantamount to jumping up. And once you jump up, you're going to come down. So I urge you to identify who you are now. Okay? If a purpose is not known, abuse becomes inevitable. As an MSME, you must know the category and where you belong. Are you a startup? The startup point is a point of ideation, where the idea is coming to you and you're trying to crystallize this idea to try to start something. That is the point where it is called startup. And I tell you that most startups, the banks don't want to finance them because they believe that you do not understand the tutelage of that business and you really need to lend them. So from startup, once you get started, you become a micro entrepreneur. And I want to use two parameters now to tell you who you are as a micro entrepreneur. The number of employees and the total cost, including the working capital, but excluding the land. Okay? As a micro entrepreneur, the number of people working with you are between 1 and 10. Okay? That is the first categorization. If you look at your business now, you check the number of your employee. If they are between 1 and 10, and your total cost, including your working capital, excluding your land, if it's less than 1 million, then you have to be a micro entrepreneur. Okay? Don't forget from being a startup to being a micro entrepreneur. Now, from micro entrepreneur, you migrate to being a small business holder. As a small business holder, the number of your employee now has moved between 11 persons and 35 persons. Okay? And your working cost has moved from 1 million to about 40 million. So if you check your working cost, that's the money, your working capital, the money you use in doing your business, if it is in the range of 1 to 40 million, and the people in your employment are between 11 and 35, then I tell you, you are said to be a small business person. So from small business person, you move on to the medium. Don't forget, what we are trying to categorize is the MSME. Sometimes some people take away the M and it becomes SME. So most times that word MSME and SME are used interchangeably. So as a medium entrepreneur, what it means is that the number of people working with you is between 36 and 100 persons. Okay? And your total working cost is now within the range of 40 million to about 200 million. Okay? So you can see the growth from being a startup to being a micro entrepreneur to being a small entrepreneur. Now you are now a medium entrepreneur. Okay? Then you now move on to the large conglomerates where you have over 100 persons working for you. Okay? And your working capital or your working cost is now above about 200 million. Okay? So when you get to that level, you are said to be a large entrepreneur. This is where Dangote and all those $100 and the richest people in the world, that is where they fall into. Okay? So the point I must bring to your notice now is that if you are a startup, aim to move to become a micro entrepreneur. Okay? From becoming a small entrepreneur, your next target is to be a medium entrepreneur. From there, you become a large conglomerate, having large group of companies. So remaining in one category for a long time is a problem. It's like having a child. You give birth to a child, and after 1 year, that child is not working. Then it means that it's essentially a problem. So if you are a micro entrepreneur and you are there for a long period of time, unable to transit to the next level, then I have a problem with you. So I'll round up this session by looking at the word commerce. Okay? A lot of us in secondary school in those days, we were taught that subject of commerce. They will ask you to choose between commerce and economics. Okay? Today, these two basic concepts rule the world. You commonly hear that the economy is not doing so well. The commerce is not blossoming. Okay? So, what does commerce entail as an entrepreneur? Okay? There are basically 4 elements in commerce. Number 1 is that every entrepreneur must have a product and a services that he's rendering to the people. Okay? So I ask you the question today, what is your product? And we talked about one man, one woman, one product. Okay? So irrespective of whatever you are doing, you should have your own product that you celebrate at the end of the day. Your own product that you can fall back to. Your services that you are rendering to the larger community. So commerce start from having a product or a service that you are able to render. So once you have a product and service, the next thing that must come to mind is how do I market that product to the generality of the public. Okay, so marketing of your product is critical, and today marketing is so interesting, marketing is so diverse, such that people now talk about things like digital marketing. Okay, and I want to urge you, okay, if you really are in business and you want to take your business to the next level, please reach out to us. We'll take you on a course called digital marketing, and we'll look at all the social media handle and how to deploy them. Today, they are looking at how many followers you have, following your product to be able to buy from you at the end of the day. Okay, we have a whole course on marketing, strategic marketing, that is tied to your vision and your mission. Okay, so all these are critical things that form part of commerce, product and services. Then you must be able to market those products and services to be able to generate sales. Okay, sales, the number of sales you make determine the number of profit that you are going to make at the end of the day. So sales is critical. Okay, so that's talking about how money comes into your organization. When you take our course on cash flow management, you will know that the more sales that you attract into your business, the more likely that your business is going to do. So once your sale is on the rise, then you now take away your cost to have the profit element. And I tell you that every business is built around these 4 components of product and services, how to market that product, to be able to generate that sales for you to be able to have the desired profits. Okay? So we started by defining who an entrepreneur is, what entrepreneurship means. And we talked about the fact that you must be ready to take risks. You must be able to invest your money, time, and passion to be able to generate businesses and a series of businesses for you to remain relevant. Then, of course, we talked about the categorization of how to be a startup, how to be micro-entrepreneur, moving to a small business and becoming a medium business before you become large. If you jump from one stage to the last stage, you are likely going to come down. And that's what happened to most businesses. And of course, you must be able to deploy the instrumentality of commerce, talking about products and services, and looking at how to market them to generate sales to be able to have your profit. So see you in our next clinic. And like we mentioned, our social media handles are scrolling. And if you really want to grow your business, this is the right place to be. You can share this platform and meet us at the other side. Have a nice day. Thank you.